Addictions of any kind must be broken. I'm probably going to speak most particularly about internet addiction today, but all addictions of any form are bad, whether it be drugs, pornography, gambling, sex, the internet addiction, addiction to supply. All addictions are bad because it basically is saying that you are a slave to something. Something has control over you and you're addicted to it. You cannot break the addiction. If you want to understand if you're addicted to something, let's say, for example, what do you do when you wake up first thing in the morning? Do you go straight to the computer or your cell phone to see how many likes you got on a picture you posted somewhere, Instagram, whatever? Do you look to see, oh, did someone share my post? Did someone like or dislike? Did someone comment on my post? If that's the first thing you do every morning, it's almost like you become a junkie because you're looking for the dopamine hit the very first second you wake up in the morning. You're looking for the high, the validation. Oh, someone commented, someone liked my stuff, and someone did this, someone did that. And I'm not pointing the finger at anyone else. I'm bringing this up because it's a problem I myself am trying to work on. So I just want to be clear. I bring these things up because I'm observing them as problems in my own life that I'm working on right now. So that's the reason why I bring these things up, because I figure if it's something I want to work on, I'm sure plenty of other people struggle with these things as well. So I noticed that something I'm trying to work on is breaking the internet addiction completely. And not, I'm still going to make narc vids here and there and some self-help videos and things of that nature. And, we all like to watch narc vids, and I like to make the rounds every day and watch the people that I'm subscribed to and other people's narcissist videos. Yeah, of course I'm going to do that, but what I'm saying is I'm trying to minimize my exposure. So let's say you were on it for 3 hours per day, try to cut it down to 2 and then 1. So I'm working on cutting back my exposure. Because again, moderation is the thing. It becomes poisonous when you become a slave to either the device or the actual substance, alcohol, drugs, whatever. When you cannot break free from a substance or a device, it means you are a slave to that. And being a slave to anything is extremely bad because that means it can control your mind. It's controlling you. It has control over you, and you do not want this. Addictions of any form are bad and must be completely broken in order for you to free yourself and be liberated, because the internet in itself is completely nefarious. I mean, it's totally evil. It can be used for good, and that's what it seems like people are trying to use it for. But even when you're using it for good, there's so many bad qualities about it. For example, what I'm speaking on right now, it becomes addictive, and that is a bad thing. So, and what happens is it starts making you egotistical as well, because if you get a certain number of followers, a certain number of subscribers, a certain number of likes, your head starts to swell. You become very egotistical. Oh, well, I have 20,000 followers. I'm the best thing ever. And there's just no end to it. You can get 20,000, then you can get 25,000 likes, and you can get 30,000, and it just becomes, what's the point? Like, where is the ending point? You just keep building and building and building and building. God did not instruct us to have followers. He instructed us to follow him. So the very idea that you're going on a platform looking to gain a following becomes egotistical in itself. And so what I'm working on is humility, getting back to humility and just getting back to the basics, just keeping it simple, because it just, there's so many different ways that the internet can go bad that it just becomes hard for me to use. I mean, it's like I want to put out messages, but I don't want to become kind of arrogant and egotistical, and there's almost no way to go on the internet without that, because they've developed all these platforms, they've built addiction into it. Other people have already discussed that and done videos on it. They all have the like, dislike button, they all have the commenting. There's no way you're not, it's almost like you can't not get addicted to it. So it's hard, you have to be extremely disciplined, which most people are not, including myself. I work on that. It's something I'm trying to work on. But it's almost like it can't be used in a disciplined way, because they've built it to be so addictive that even when you try to cut back, it's like, oh, I have to see, did someone comment? Did someone like my picture? Did someone do this? Did someone do that? It just gets out of control. So no matter which way you try to use it, unless you're some kind of insanely disciplined person, it can certainly snowball into a much bigger problem. So when you wake up and you go right to the internet, you're somewhat of a slave to that device. So are we going to God immediately when we wake up and spend 2 hours in prayer? Don't you think that's what we should be doing? Is the internet our God? The internet is now God? Or are we God? We're more concerned with our own comments and likes and share than we abandon God. Where did God go? We completely abandoned God. We are looking for our own validation. What does that have to do with God? God never told us to have followers and seek validation from other people. He wants us to get validation from him. Go to him for answers. Go to him for all of our needs. He'll provide all of our needs for us. But the masses, we've ignored God. We've completely abandoned God. The internet has become God. So, and then the other situation is that with the internet, it's actually, they've given a device to predators that actually makes it easier for them to be predators. Okay, that is sick. That is absolutely sick. That is saying, okay, there's child molesters, there's narcissists, there's criminals, there's murderers. Oh, by the way, here's a device that we can give to you that actually makes it easier for you to be a predator. Is that not sick? Okay, you're a child molester. Here's a device where you can sit and peruse for children all day, every day, at your discretion, whenever you feel like it. Does that seem like a good idea to you? So you have to question who gave us this device. That is absolute sickness. Why did they give us these devices? They have made predators' lives completely easier. They've made it easier for predators to be predators, basically. I mean, you know, I mean, it's perversion. It's perversion. You've also given predators, all of this sick perversion with pornography and all the stuff you can look at online. They've just given us, it's just an endless abyss of filth. Like, why was this given to us? This, everything that is wholesome went out the window. Oh, now people can sit and look at naked women all day online. If you're like a sex addict, or you can look at pornography all day online. You can do this, you can do that. What is this perversion? Like, that's absolute sickness to give this to predators. Instead of making their job harder, they made their job easier. That is sickness, okay? That is something that needs to be used as little as possible. And then, if you notice, like, even on YouTube, I have like random ads popping up, or if I want to stream something, you know, some film or something, and some nasty ads will start popping up of like scantily clad women, like, click on this and look at, I'm like, what? I don't want to see this. I'm trying to look at this film, or I'm trying to do this. So what I'm trying to say is, you could be going on there to do something totally clean, totally fine, and you're bombarded with filth. Like, I'm not trying to look at that filth. I'm trying to clean all that type of filth out of my life, and I'm constantly bombarded with it. It just never ends. Like, no matter what I try to do to clean it up, they throw it in your face. You can't even get rid of it if you want to. So you need to be extremely cognizant of how much time you spend on the internet. You should spend as little time as possible on the internet. Watch your narcissist videos for learning purposes, and then get off of there. Like, give yourself time limits, you know, reduce the time that you're on there, and look to do more service-oriented things, like going volunteering and things of that nature that actually serve humanity, not destroy humanity. Break all addictions. All addictions must be broken. Free yourself.